Yo, this is Cairo. This is going to be a pretty quick video because I only watch spurts of this game and I have something to do right after this. But I just wanted to get this video out because I will probably do a Lakers video again. They're always on TV. Everybody's on TV, so I'll probably do a Lakers video right after this if I have time. Okay, so what I observed from this game was that the biggest takeaway that I had was that the Cavs were basically playing the Knicks game. So everything that the Cavs did was exactly what the Knicks did in game one. They out-hustled them, they rebound, they were diving for everything. They got in the moment. They had one guy dictate everything on the scoring level, and then everybody else just contributes. So in the Knicks game one, you had Jalen Brunson, and then everybody else hustling for rebounds, hustling, and then everybody else contributed. In this game, it was Darius Garland, and then Donovan Mitchell was playing that point guard role, and then everybody else contributed. One thing I definitely would say that I love about the playoffs is the fact that everybody knows what's at stake. So people are playing at a higher level. You really see what type of person or what type of player somebody is when they play in the playoffs. And the Knicks were doing that in the very beginning of this game. They were doing it most of game one, which is why they won. But in this game, you could definitely see what they were doing. So basically, in the earliest stages of the game, they were dominating down low. They were more active and they were running. They were getting down the court very fast. But as soon as the game started to slow down a little bit and then the Cavs started to get their offense underway, it was just all Cavs from that point. The Cavs basically took over this game. They were up as much as 20 points, but in the very beginning of the game, you could definitely see that the Knicks were annoying the Cavs. And in the beginning, the Cavs were playing pretty good, but the Knicks were just reading it. And Okoro even got in early foul trouble, so they had to put Jetty Osman on Brunson, and Jetty was getting pretty cooked out there. And JB Bickerstaff made a really good adjustment where he put multiple wings on the floor for that size and length, and then he had Jetty guard somebody else, and then Karis LeVert, who's a bit more athletic out there, on Jalen Brunson. And it definitely helped because Jalen didn't have the best game. Now, of course, shout out to Karis LeVert. He played really good. I'm pretty sure he had like 24 points off the bench. Do I expect him to do this again? Not really, but it's good that he has taken that role player persona and he's been playing decently off of it. You know, role players just need a few games to get going, so it's good. And that really helped with the Jalen Brunson assignment. The Cavs were really trapping. That's what I also noticed too. Cavs were trapping and they were getting out in transition fast, exactly how the Knicks did in game one. So the minute the Cavs got in somewhere, they started trapping, double teaming, and then they got out in transition fast, and then they just did an outlet pass all the way down the court. And it worked for the most part because the Knicks were tired. Another aspect that I have to mention is the fact that the Knicks were very injury prone. This game, Jalen Brunson got hit by Julius Randle. Late in the game, Julius Randle got hurt because Jared Allen accidentally went for the ball. And honestly, I don't know why Tom Thibodeau leaves his starters out the entire time, even when it's a blowout game. I understand it's the playoffs and you want your best player on the floor, but after Tom Thibodeau saw what happened to Derrick Rose, it's like, why would you do that with another good player why would you do that with anybody on your team? So I thought that was pretty bad from Tom Thibodeau's side, but I understand the logic. But yeah, the Knicks were really injury prone. Before this game, Josh Hart wasn't even supposed to play because he had I think a left ankle sprain, but he still played. He was cleared, but you could tell these guys were moving very sluggishly, and it really affected them. The Knicks did make a small run in the third quarter, and that's when they really started to get going and started playing their game. But the Cavs just read it. Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they really got on the boards, and they started getting under their skin and really annoying them. They used their size. In game one, they didn't really use their size. They were really playing soft out there. But this game, they really dominated down low. And it's good that you see that. And I do still have the Knicks in 7. One thing I also do love is the fact that Donovan Mitchell is being a leader out there. What you want best from your star player is to understand that Charles Barkley said it best when he was on TNT. He said that when you're the best player on the court, you know you can score over everybody else. But what makes you even better is that you understand that other people can get going and that you have to feed your teammates. And that's what he did with Darius Garland, and he started to get going. And Darius Garland was just shooting over everybody, and it really helped them, and it pivoted their way to the win. So I'm glad Mitchell was being a leader out there, because there are times where Mitchell literally just chucks up a bunch of shots that, it goes in a lot, but sometimes he really does take a stupid amount of shots that, he could get a better look. So yeah, overall, I would say this was a pretty fun game to watch. It was here and there. It was a fun game to watch in the first half. It got kind of boring in the second half, so I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch most of it in the second half. But I would say they both played each other's game. The Knicks, if it wasn't for injuries, it would probably be a little bit closer. And the bench players for the Cavs played a lot better. And the rotations for the Cavs was just a lot more better and like a little bit more consistent. You had better role players out there. And the Knicks, what I would say the Knicks have to do to prepare themselves is obviously keep that same mentality of hustling on the boards. But you have to understand when some guy can't take shots all the time. You have to find your role players out there. I would experiment with Toppin a little bit more. Try Quickly out there. He Quickly had a decent game. He isn't the best defender, but he had a decent game out there. You just really need to get going out there. If you can replicate what you did in game 1, you have a chance to take a 2-1 lead at home.